I look forward this week, Cody. You're right. That intro is so much better without Fern.
Get him out of here.
I like it. And you basically just take Fern out and added an image, a graphic image of the teaching that image at the end there. Cool.
Yeah.
It's all good. So Fern is easily replaceable. Is what we just found out. Awesome. Super excited. If you are here watching us on the progression, let us know in the chat. Do the like and subscribe thing, please. This is how we get more viewers, how we get people, there we go, watching, chatting. It's way more fun with everybody chiming in. Thank you, Corey. Let's keep it a little PG. I feel like it got X-rated. It didn't even get R-rated. It got X-rated yesterday. Is that accurate, Cody?
I mean, I've seen worse, but it was
up there. It was Trish. Like it. It's Trish. Trish makes it Trish just jumped it up there.
It's all Trish, and she wants me to give her the wrench to be a moderator in the chat. I was like, I'm not.
Do you do that? Is there such a thing as moderator on YouTube?
Yeah. They were in the chat just asking me to dole out wrenches.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, I can assign it to anybody. Right now, I'm the only one who has one.
I don't think someone that's in the whack pack should be a moderator. I feel like right. That's just like, if we're gonna let anyone moderate, I don't know if Lifetime Dan is watching. I would nominate Lifetime Dan. A love button. Awesome. Like doesn't even just you like me, Morgan. I appreciate it. We got a great guest today, Casey Good, L3 extraordinaire, preparing for his level 4. What were you saying? 2 weeks? When is April 18th? I want to say.
Yeah, April 18th. About a week and a half.
You should feel attacked, Corey. If there was a least likely to be a moderator, it'd be Corey, then Trish. First Corey, then Trish. That's it. Look, we love you watching. I just don't trust you with my children. Is that a good way to put it? Like that's it. We love you. You're not cut out for this. You and Cody were talking quite a bit. I caught most of it before we hit record. And Cody told you to stop talking. Mm-hmm. So Cody's kind of thing on the show, other than it clearly being Ackerman's boss, like I see there, Cody, is getting the background information, a little background check, if you will. Fingerprinting, social security number. Let's figure out where Casey's coming from. Hit us up, Cody. Let's get it going.
Yeah, so first off, we can see that you're a level 3, but you're an affiliate owner. And how long have you owned your affiliate? And then 2, like, what does your current coaching load look like right now? Like, how many classes are you coaching either a day or per week?
Yeah, so I purchased an existing gym in July of 2020. Interesting time to do that, but has worked out so far. And kind of rebranded everything. I really only bought the equipment and some members. So it was kind of a big kind of starting from new as far as the brand goes. But I coach, probably more than I should right now.
How many hours?
I probably coach 20 hours a week. In a class, 20 to 25, depending on, I don't know, we've had spring breaks and other coaches being out. So yeah, I would say 20 to 25.
So what you're telling me is you coach a fair amount of hours, get plenty of reps in every week, that this video we're about to watch should be just pristine.
We'll see.
Pristine.
Hey, I'm not going to go that far yet, but we'll see. No, that's why I wanted to get on this show. I've got a lot of hours in front of a class, but my kind of coaching background, I've been at I started when I was in college coaching and was at an affiliate there. Didn't get a ton of feedback, and I haven't really got a ton of feedback in my coaching career. Kind of been all, I don't know, like self-learned stuff, like other than like going to my level 2. So I have definitely been reaching out to get as much feedback as I can before this level 4. Went up to a couple of gyms that were on the guys that were on the L1 staff.
Give them shout outs. Come on, who was it?
Andrew went up to Andrew Charlesworth's gym up in Michigan, and then
Andrew Charlesworth, one of my closest friends on this planet. Amazing dude. His wife Jen's awesome. They got 2 wonderful kids. So yeah, good dude. CrossFit 2A Bor in Fenton, Michigan.
Yep. So went up there on Monday night, and then went over to Dayton, Ohio, to Bombers CrossFit with Greg Kirschbaum. So
Greg Kirschbaum, I'll tell you a story.
uh-oh.
Greg Kirschbaum, that Greg Kirschbaum. So I was working a seminar at CrossFit, not Jack's. There's one. What's the one in Jack's? Justin Berg's old gym, Southside, CrossFit Southside in Jacksonville, Florida. And Greg was interning, and we were what was the open workout? It was 20-minute AMRAP, dumbbell snap or dumbbell clean, toes to bar row.
Yeah, it was like 4, 6, 8 or something like that.
Some random numbers, but whatever that year, that was the weekend he interned, and he demolished us. That dude. I
bet
he is a fit human being. That dude is a big boy. But him and both him and his brother are actually on seminar staff.
Yep.
I've never met his brother, so I don't know his name.
Yeah, he was out. I think he was out of town that day when I went up there, so I didn't get to meet him either.
Cool. First question from the listeners for you, Casey. Are you Batman?
Am I Batman? No.
No, that's what Batman would say. That's what Batman would say, right?
I can't give it away.
That's what Batman would say.
The problem, I don't have a clean shaven face. It's just nothing grows.
You and Fern. You're not.
Yeah. So I
yet.
No. Yeah, I'm still waiting. So
you'll get there, and then one day, like Cody, like myself, you'll be able to have like a masculine face. Right now, it's a very clean, strong, feminine face, but it's nice.
Yeah. Thanks.
Jason would like to call that a well-muscled female.
You will have a well-muscled female face.
Yeah. Thanks.
So I'm excited. Corey, you're late. I've already made that joke. This is why you can't be moderator, Corey. You're not funny enough. Or you're not funny enough. Hey, do you want me to be funny or fast? Yes. Right place, right time. All right. Cody, what questions do you have before we dig into the workout?
One, what is the workout we're about to see?
So workout is a 10-to-1 ladder of push jerks and then 10-calorie bike in between. We have a little bit 10 and 13 cals on the we have 2 separate bikes, the C2s and the assault bikes.
Okay. And then second question here is, I asked this to Christian last time. What do you think, you coach enough, what do you think is your biggest weakness? You think that me and Jay are going to catch here in the middle of watching this video?
For example, my biggest weakness is I care too much when I coach.
Mm-hmm.
What's yours?
Yeah, my biggest weakness, no, I would say that oh man, I want you
to be self-reflective here.
I know. I still kind of go through different progressions and different just kind of getting that flow of like how they teach at the level 2. And Andrew talked about this when I was up there. Like being super quick with the call outs. I think that coaching, you can definitely fall into your own kind of habits and routines. And so that's been kind of one thing that I've really focused on is like, hey, like give a cue. I mean, just like give a cue, make sure they do it, watch them do the second rep, tell them better, move on.
Yeah. Love it. And yes, office reference. Anyone in the chat, if you watch this show long enough, you know my favorite show outside of the progression is The Office. I've watched it in full, I think 4 or 5 times, but I continuously just throw it on randomly. Before we kick off, I want to give a shout out. You ready for this, Cody? I see you wearing a Savon shirt. Is that true?
That is true.
Cool. All right. Shout out to Savon, good friend. A lot of you watch the show as well. Now look at my shirt. Look at this shirt. Do you see it?
You're not tall enough.
Take my thing away for a second. Take my thing away for a second. So you can see it. I'm on my toes. I'm gonna get a calf cramp.
You gotta give me a second. I don't know where it is.
Come on, get rid of it. Then
I'm trying.
My calves are cramping. This is the most calf raises I've ever done.
How do I make it go away? I don't know how to make it go away. We're stuck.
Let me move my slide. Nope, this way.
Oh, there it is.
We go. Look, Rich Froning, Matt Frazier. You can't buy this shirt. You cannot buy this shirt. But shout out to Barbell Voodoo, my man Roy. He gave me this shirt when we were in where were we? Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I rarely wear it, and I threw it on today. I was like, oh, I gotta show everybody.
It's a cool shirt.
It's you can't make it because I don't remember who. It might have Rich, Matt, or both of them did not endorse it. So all right, let's share this thing.
Yeah, let's get it going.
Window.
Casey, what class are we about to watch? Which one in the day?
6 a.m.
Uh-oh.
Ooh,
All right.
Start it off, man.
6
6 a.m.
All right, let's do it. Can you see it?
Yep. You may have to adjust the volume, but we should be good.
Fast forward a tiny bit, but it should be good.
Yeah, I agree with you. Corey, I do agree with you on that. You hear it? Cody?
Yeah. Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Cool.
He's just not saying anything right now.
He was whispering to somebody. He's off camera.
Guys, let's go ahead and bring it up to the TV. We're going to talk about our workout today first, and then we can get moving. Can you guys turn those barbells and then slide them?
Is this wait? Are we gonna be able to see things, Casey?
Yeah. We're bringing everybody.
I was gonna say,
adjusting barbells a little bit where they had them laid out.
but you're gonna change the angle so we can see the barbells.
Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see it.
All
You'll
right,
see it.
Here we go. There we go.
So the workout today, we're going in, it's Icarus. You know the story of him? Look it up. You might understand a little assault like today. You feel a little too close to the sun.
No, the name of the workout's Icarus. The Greek mythology of a dude flew too close to the sun and burned up.
Yeah, we are familiar with Icarus, Casey. Thanks for explaining to us. We are familiar. We graduated second grade. Thank you. And I had the Nintendo game when I was a kid. Even better.
Calories stay the same throughout 8, 7, 6, all the way down. Push jerk weights at 115.75. However, I want us to choose a weight where no more than one break per set. Okay, so like you gotta do like 5 and 5, 6 and 4 on that 10, so on moving down. Any mod options, we can obviously mod weight. We can mod the distance on the bike if we want to. We're gonna go if it's taking more than a minute on those calories, let's mod that now. On the weight as well, if we need to mod up, you can also do that. You say, hey, I'm gonna do every round unbroken, no problem. And I'm gonna do it sub 10 minutes. Mod that way up and do 35.95, somewhere around in there.
Your mic caught better for a second.
Yeah, it was clipped on my shirt, so I think
it's working. It's just not great. It's working. It's just not great.
So let's go ahead. We can set UVCs downtown in front of the bike. Let's find a bike.
I think we had one too many with the bikes we have.
There's a better view.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, Cody. While Casey's getting everybody organized and ready, let's break down that whiteboard brief a little bit. I think overall pretty good. Like I understand the workout 10-1. You're doing these push jerks. Was it jerks or push press actually?
Jerks.
Right. So lightweight. So lightweight push jerk. I think you were pretty explicit. Like, hey, one break only. You were using the word mod a lot, which is which is fine. Here's one thing I would have added. Like you said, you can break it. Like there should be a number. What's up, Lifetime Dan? We already talked about you, Lifetime Dan. By the way, you've been nominated to be the moderator of the chat. On a workout like this, I would have said like, hey, there is a point where you need to go unbroken. Probably the 6s. And we actually take a step back. Looking at this workout, I would have briefed it as this is an unbroken workout.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what the stimulus was. What programming is this?
My own.
Cool. You do your own programming. So what were your expectations?
Well, I originally had it at 135.95, but I cut it down because it was 55 total reps. So I was like, I kind of like that 115.85, and where I think there's actually 2 guys in the class that end up using 135, but I kind of wanted people to go unbroken, just like, hey, one break max. If you have any questions that you may have to break it up more than that, definitely modify the weight.
Yeah. So I think again, I would have I would have briefed it as, hey, I just, oftentimes when I look at workouts, I use myself knowing I'm not an elite athlete, been doing this thing a long time. What would I do? And I looked at that workout. It's like, oh, I would easily go unbroken on that. Right. So, okay. That's how I would brief it. And, you brief it as go unbroken. Let's be, thinking about this workout. What set are we concerned they're going to break?
9 or 8.
Exactly. Yeah. Nailed it. Right. A lot of people would have said 10. Like, no, they're fresh at 10. It's they get back to that bar after the bike and they're like, what is happening in my body? Right. So, So I would brief it as this is this is unbroken. And then know that, hey, somebody might break it at 9 and that's okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Please show me the workout, Icarus. So you named this workout yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think there's been some names for that before, but
So
yeah.
Here you go, Don. It's on the board right here. Cody's got it pulled up. 10-to-1 push jerks, 115.7. I think this is a great workout. 10-to-1 push jerks, 10 calorie on the assault bike or 12 calorie on the Concept 2. Now, if you're on the Concept, that's a much easier workout, in my opinion, just because your shoulders are going to be fresher.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Don, he created that workout. That's why you can't find it. Corey, funny story about the level 4. So I was coaching at North Naples CrossFit when I lived in Florida. Matt Torres, Daniel Brandon's coach now. He's not as fit as he used to be because he's busy, running his empire over there. Amazing dude. Check him out. But he had his level 3 at the time, and somebody came in, they're like, wow, if that guy has his level 3, you must be really good. And I was like, yes, at coaching, not as much at working out. So, cool. Anything to add to that, Cody?
Demo.
Yeah.
Oh, good one, Cody.
Yep. And the reason why is, let's look at it.
What do we got?
Right there. He put it on his lesson plan and then left it off.
Look, I don't get involved in their personal lives, Judy. But yes, they are together. No, I don't know. I truly don't know. Do you want me to text Matt? I'll tell him. I'll let him know after the show. He's a very close friend that people are concerned about.
Get back on track, Ackerman. Come on.
I got pulled off. Freaking Judy. She's new to this. And she's already distracting me. But Casey, that's a very valuable point, right? We're looking at this from the perspective. We got to be hard on Casey because you're taking your level 4 in 12 days. Non-negotiable. Hey, guys, any injuries? We didn't ask for injuries.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've it's a struggle for someone who doesn't coach people they don't know. Because I could tell you everybody in the class, I could tell you, I don't know, probably 95% of my members of hey, what we have going on. But no, you're right. That's one that Andrew gave me feedback on that. And Greg gave me feedback on the same thing.
Yeah, I know. And trust me, I get it. And I think there's a balance. I coach my box. I know this girl. I know this guy. I know everyone.
Right.
Cool. You're not going to in 12 days.
No, yeah, you're right.
Well, and also you may think that but somebody may have something going on that they're just not, they're not speaking up about. Maybe they
or it happened last night, right? You saw them at 4, they tweaked their ankle walking their dog, and now they're back and they don't want to say anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, a note about the C2 bikes. I've dropped into a gym before, and the C2 bike is supposedly easier, but they took all the seats away. So you had to stand the whole time.
Trish might like that bike without a seat, but I don't know that everybody else is going to enjoy that.
It made it really hard, right? It's the damper had to go to 10, and you had to stand the whole time. So it was very hamstring heavy.
No joke. The C2 bike, and I love Concept 2. I was telling my buddy I was at the original Concept 2 rowing seminar in Vermont in 2008. Glassman was there with us. And the C2 bike is my favorite purchase at Best Hour CrossFit over here because it's the first thing I do every time. I go down to the basement. I don't want to work out. I sit on the bike for 5 minutes, and by the time I'm done, I'm ready to go. Yeah.
Get out of the chat, Jay. Just get out of the chat. Don't look.
Okay. So cool stuff. Let's dig back in.
We're going back to the bike. We got 2 more.
Here's what I want. This is, again, granted the sound was turned down. I'm not exactly sure what I've missed. During that, what was going on here? It was bike, and then I saw some jumping squats. Yeah?
Yeah, we did. We went back and forth, like 45-second bike, 45-second. We did like Spider-Man lunge and reach, pass-throughs, jumping squats, and something else. Strict press, maybe?
Here's what I would do. All good stuff. But when we got to those squats, and maybe if we're going to do pass-throughs, etc., and I think this is a mistake often made. It's like,
Johnny, you might raise that seat like 1 or 2.
oh, and there's your mic. Now it's working. I literally thought you were talking to me. Calling reps and coaching during this general warm-up. I would have been like, all right, guys, you did your 45 seconds on the bike. Hop off. Everybody standing, ready, down, jump. If we're doing jumping squats or air squat, right? But if you're taking your level 4, I guarantee they're looking for how much coaching is happening the entire hour. And it needs to start immediately. When we do the that's not happening. Keep that $10, Amanda. At the level 2, that's one of the things we watch for when we coach the workout. And then when we give feedback in front of the participants, like, hey, who got a cue during the general warm-up? Everyone, because we were coaching them, right? Like, this is better. But right there, this dude. Watch. You walk past this dude at your level 4. I'm not going to say it's end game, but there you go. You got him. You got this guy, and he did notice. When I'd be hounding this, here's how you do it, though. You're letting them just move on reps. You static positions, right? If I'm just like press, reset, like that's coaching, right? Like, so I would make sure when I'm not as caught up as you are on the current level 4. You write your own lesson plan. I would be calling out every rep in your warm-up.
Okay.
Time and a place too, right? Say it was, let's say we're doing something similar. 3 rounds, 45 seconds on the bike, 10 press, round 2, 10 push jerk, or push press, round 3, 10 push jerk. Cool. Maybe on the 3rd round, all right, guys, 10 jerks on your own. So it's like bleeding into a warm-up. But even then, like, so, or it's like, hey, guys, I'm going to call out 5 reps, and you're going to do 5 on your own.
Yeah.
Especially with a workout like this where we've only got 2 movements. The main focus is really on that push jerk. So like it's like it really deserves a lot of the attention right now, right out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm assuming, you know what they say about assumptions, that we're going to see that in the specific warm-up, but let's see what happens, right? After the show, my buddy Pat sent me an Instagram about that Mapuzi, and I was like, oh, hey, I could have used that about an hour ago, but all good.
Get that chest to the ground. Try to get that belly all the way down.
Names. Who? Right? That's what we're gonna have to do. Name who needs to get their chest to the ground, who needs to get their belly to the ground.
Yeah, and this is what something Steve said yesterday. We asked him, what is one thing you can do to improve your presence and attitude? His one thing is just use people's names. That's it.
You're paying attention?
I'll always pay attention.
I don't know about that.
There's a good question from Amanda. Do you coach the biking?
Yeah, we have a little warm up after the push jerks.
Yeah, and whether or not that happened in this class, the answer is yes, right? Like we coach every movement we do here. Now, every class doesn't get the same attention because it depends on what the workout is, what the other movements are. But 2 movements, jerk and bike, I'll tell you this, right? Here's what you guys want to look at from a coaching perspective. It's a couplet. And it's a beautiful, I really like this program, right? So good job there, Casey. When you look at a couplet, let's take this one right now. We got push jerks and we got the bike. Which one is the more complex movement?
Push jerk.
Obviously. So that's going to get the majority of my focus. Now, if it was a 3rd, 4th, 5th movement, that might get all my focus, right? But for today, definitely the majority. And then I would tell you, here's the other thing you didn't do, and we'll go back. You didn't give a time frame on that workout at the whiteboard.
I said something about 10 minutes during it. If you're going to go sub 10, I think is what I used.
So, cool.
Yeah.
So let's call it a 10-minute workout. Now I've got 50 minutes to coach. Yes, I would definitely spend some time on the bike today. You know, stuff on the bike might be on the C2, like, hey, let's get on there and think about, pulling with your hamstrings on the pedal, or B, let's look at the damper and figure out where your sweet spot is for calories. Like lots of things we can do on the Echo bikes, different things. So yeah, always opportunity there. All right, now we're going through the.
On that land, make sure we just stick that landing and just hang out right
Oh, my pussy's back. My pussy's back. Is there a reason you wouldn't use your real name on YouTube, Cody?
Let's try to really extend those
Just have some fun.
I guess so.
pressing those quads. All right, let's go ahead and get set.
Can we talk about how jacked this dude is over here? Who is that? Is that a bodybuilder?
No, he just started like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he
Was he-
definitely walked straight out of a Globo gym and into CrossFit.
Yeah,
He
he's
is a monster. He's a big dude, huh?
I wish he would have found it. He's like 30, I don't know, 37, 38.
Careful. You're speaking to a 44-year-old. You were about to say, I wish you found it earlier because he's old now. Yeah.
No, because he would have been like a freak. Like he came in the first day and it was like his shoulder mobility is terrible. His some overhead stuff but he did like a wall ball burpee row workout and he was rowing at like a 132 and maintained it the whole workout.
Yeah. I'm 50. Mapuzi's 50. That's an old Mapuzi.
How many times are you going to say it in the show, dude?
And they're distracting me. But I did see a question. The burpee dude. How do you pull with your hamstrings on the pedal when you don't have a clip? Great question. You really technically aren't. But if you can imagine this is the clip. This is my buddy Pat. Lifetime Dan knows Pat. He taught me. He actually was showing me like put your foot more like flat-footed, and as you drive through, you get a little more traction to kind of pull back up. But it's not the same as like clipping in a bike. Yeah, you're absolutely right, burpee dude.
Casey, something I've been watching right here. You've been going through this progression. I look back at your lesson plan too. It's all part of your lesson plan. I would like to see you've got people doing some jump and lands. I would really like to see when they hold that land position. You've done it before we went overhead here, but like going around and like good, not good, good, not good, and like making sure while they're in those static positions, you can give those cues if you need to.
Well, and here's
you start to layer it in when you go overhead. We can fix at least that one static position, that receiving position, before they start taking their arms overhead.
Well, and something else we've talked about numerous times, like this setup makes complete sense for the workout you're about to do. However, right now it doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right now it'd be like, all right, guys, make a circle. Like, remember what bike is yours. Remember where you're going back to. But look at you. You're like traversing 10 people every single time, which is just, when you think about, here's like, in theory, what's the difference? Well, I can tell you, you're going to give less tactile and visual cues. Period. Because if you see this dude at the end here in the gray doing something and you're on the other end, I know he's not getting a tactile cue. It's impossible, right? So
yeah,
that is why we do that. And like we talked about with Steve yesterday, it could have been as simple as, hey, let's just make 2 lines.
Because that's one I've gotten some feedback on a circle because your back's to people at some point at every time.
In a certain, not if you're on the outside.
Okay, so just like demo, get out, sort of thing.
Yeah, the only reason you're inside the circle is to demo. Because,
right.
And to answer your question, everyone's back is to you right there.
Well, yeah, like my back would be to them, is sort of thing. Where I guess,
well, like now your back is to everybody.
Right.
Look, except for the little girl, right? You're.
Yeah.
So, look, time and don't hold me to it and be like, I'm going to use a circle time and a place for a circle, and time and a place not to use a circle. Right here, because look what's happening right here. You're demonstrating 5 people cannot see you. Look, they're turning their heads now. That's not going to fly at a level 4.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to think about anytime you do something, the entire class needs to be able to see you. How can I position either myself or position the class so that happens?
Yeah, and more often than not, it starts with the class, right? And then you're thinking about where you're standing. I don't know. I believe, we're at the point where I don't know who to trust anymore, Cody. Is Jonathan's question real?
I mean, sure.
Do owners make a lesson plan? It sounds good, but who really uses it? I think he's joking.
Well,
John,
I mean, like we've talked about it with Fern on the show before too. It's like after you put in so many reps, you don't have to like sit down, type out, right?
No, absolutely. I will not most likely do a lesson plan. If someone's like, hey, can you coach for me? I'm like, sure, let me. But that's literally 16 years of CrossFit coaching experience, right? I would have showed up, done the math in my head, figured out what I wanted to do. Now, that being said, I know it would have been better with a lesson plan. And I think that's what Fern and I said with DT, right? It's like, do we need a lesson plan? No. Would it be better? Sure.
Right. And we watched DT live go through an entire lesson plan. Somebody we would consider to be like the professional at writing lesson plans. Yeah. And then get to the end of it and say, that's not going to work and start all over.
And to be clear, I do own an affiliate right now, but I don't have any coaches. If I had coaches at my affiliate, I would 100% be doing lesson plans because you need to lead by example. I'd get over my shit and be like, cool, I do lesson plans because if my coaches need to do them, I need to do them. Yeah, I agree with you, Burpee Dude, right? A lot of times, what do we see at jiu-jitsu? Hey, I'm going to teach a move. I'm in the center, gather around me. Like that's how we do it at my school, right? And it's the same principle. What is an affiliate? And then coaches. All of my coaches here are they're level 4, Corey.
Does Roz have her credential?
She's got I met her at her level 1, dude. But
I mean, did she keep it up? Does she?
She's not coaching here. We only hire level 4. She can't get a job here. And she's tried everything. She's even slept with the owner. Why were you having that conversation with that dude right there, Casey?
He was asking about he was asking about like opening his hips or getting something with the push jerk or drive. Cool. I think he was having trouble like the time of the drive and then the drive under or the dip in the drive and then like when to punch out, and he was clearing that up.
And great job, right? Like it's cool that you were answering him, but I would have taken that and been like, great question. So everybody, I want to give you guys if he has this question, he's just has the courage to ask you. Yeah. Other people have when I get questions like that, when I'm teaching, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Let me address it with the class.
Yeah.
Right.
So Casey, this one's for you. Is this what your average CrossFit class looks like?
Average 6 a.m. Yeah. I mean, it was spring break this week. Like the girl there is a daughter of one of the
How members, old is that kid?
Oh God, like 11.
And she's at a freaking 6 a.m. Shout out to that kid.
During spring break.
Yeah. What I was doing when I was on spring break? I'll be like, I'm in bed. I'll see you at noon.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Yeah. Noon would be a stretch.
Yeah, right. So,
but yeah, I would say
what a badass. All right, let's tune in a little bit, Cody.
I can already tell you, Casey, these reps you're calling are a little too fast. You're missing a lot of cues. You've gone through 6 reps, I think, already, and it looks like you're only hitting 1, maybe 2 people at a time.
Again, we are actually 15:55, but I want us to choose an option that we can keep moving through. We get 1 break each round. So if you need to break up that 10, you got 6 and 4, 5 and 5, whatever that may be. But we want to choose an option that allows us to kind of move through this. Again, if we talk about that name of the workout,
We'll get back to some coaching. Hey, Brandon, one day we'll do a best hour after dark, and I will give you some spring break stories. They will make Trish look tame, my spring break stories from college.
That makes us stop more often. We're not going to get as close to the sun, right? So we want to make sure that intensity is getting pretty high on this workout.
All this, don't do again. Don't do again. Here's what I mean by that. Like, we do this as coaches. It's like, all right, I'm going to do a second whiteboard brief right now. So all your people are just standing there listening. And B, you're talking above their pay grade. That was levels above their pay grade. Like, oh, intensity, this, like, hey guys, just a reminder, this weight is something you can handle unbroken, hard and fast today, sub 10 minutes. I'm going to make sure we do a practice round of 6 and 6 or whatever the whatever you want to do for your build up. Yeah. Build up in the lesson plan and avoid that. I see that often. It's like a second whiteboard brief.
Yeah.
You've already done it. Like, all right, guys, you know the deal. Let's get loaded. Are we just criticizing a class? I don't know. Sometimes. Casey's getting ready for his level 4. He's a big boy. He wants to get better. He wants to pass.
That's right.
I'm not giving Casey feedback like this to be mean. I genuinely want Casey to pass his level 4. I'd be calling same thing. Again, let's be clear about something. This is a fucking awesome class. 6 a.m. in Indiana, 12 people doing Icarus. Like, let's good job. Like, all of you listening, you need to be coddled out there. Great job, Casey. And I truly mean that. Level 4, we need to be calling out these reps. All right, guys, we're going to warm up, put a weight on the bar. I'm going to call out 5 reps, right? Because here's what I'm doing. We're going slow now. If you're shaking under 65 pounds, I don't need to know anything else. I know that's going to be heavy at 115, right? So calling out these reps. But again, 6 a.m. class in Indiana, fantastic, right? But that's not what this is about. And by the way, just because it's a fantastic class in Indiana doesn't mean it can't be even better. You coach this to pass your level 4. Now we've got something really special going on there, right? We talked about that back in the day when we had Tony UP on from Michigan, right, Cody? I was like, dude, this is freaking crazy. It's Michigan, 6 a.m. Look what you got here. And I would say the same thing for Casey. You got this Jack dude. You got an older guy. You got a 11-year-old girl. Like, this is freaking awesome. This is what CrossFit is all about. Now, if you want to be coddled out there, Brandon, and you want to be content with where you currently are and you content not getting better, cool. Stop watching the show. Go keep doing what you're doing. But I can tell you everybody else in the chat, Lifetime Dan, Corey, Trish, everybody, we want to be the best we can possibly be. And yeah, sometimes that comes off as criticism. I call it feedback. Let's become fucking professionals, right, Cody?
That's what we do. We give directives.
Yeah. Sorry for making you better, Brandon.
Now, we do have a couple of people that I think just have never been on at least seen this show.
Brandon can handle it.
They've never seen this show before. We have a couple of people that have never seen it. So what the progression is we basically open the show up to coaches who want to come on, be better. They come on the show. They give us a video of a class that they've coached recently, and we go through and we give them feedback. A lot of coaches and owners just don't get feedback anymore. And so we're just giving the platform for them to come on and get feedback from a level 4.
Yeah, you are getting me worked up. And by the way, all of this I'd say this genuine. This is genuine for all of you guys watching. I am so passionate about CrossFit because it changed my life. Not just from I get to do what I love, financial, met my wife doing it. But I mean, I'm privileged that every day I help affiliates with Fern, with Marcus, with Cody. And I know Casey, he's been in Affiliate U. He wants to pass his level 4. First of all, if you have your level 3, what you showed me is like, oh, you care about this and you're dialed in. Casey wants to pass. It would be doing Casey a disservice if I wasn't telling them this stuff. Like I said, in 12 days from now, I want to get a text from Casey. It won't be in 12 days, right? It'll be like a couple of days after that. Like just like I did from Christina Anderson, by the way, who was on this show getting the same feedback. One of the very first people on this planet that passed the new level 4, Christina Anderson. So go back and watch that show. We tore her up, right, Cody?
I mean, we gave her good feedback. I don't want to say we tore her up.
We tore that ass up. Got in that ass.
That's getting clipped. Just stop.
Enthusiasm, anybody? So here we go. Like, I want to see when we as coaches, we need to coach like time and a place. All right, do some reps, loading, etc. But I want to see even more reps here, more coaching here, Casey. Get into this.
Yeah, it seems like you gave them a really long time here to build up. How long have we been going out to build up?
Cody, if I said that, go ahead, answer that question, Casey.
Yeah, probably like 5-ish minutes.
That's too long. Think about this, guys. Yeah. If I told both of you we're going 115 today, how many warm-up sets you guys doing?
Yeah.
Maybe a set at 95.
Yeah.
Maybe some 25s, slap some 10s on. I'm good to go, coach. Right now, that's not the smartest thing for the record. I think you could do more, but I would be coaching them through that.
Yeah, this would be a workout where I would say, all right, guys, check it out. We're going to put a warm-up weight on, and we're going to do some reps that you're going to call. That way you can see them under a little bit of load. Now I need you to take your warm-up weight off and put your working weight on. You get basically 2 sets there. But now you're better group management. You're controlling the class better. You have an opportunity to call reps and see if something is already on a bad path. Like you can already tell, hey, they're probably going to end up going with too much weight. I need to go ahead and scale them down now before we make it to the working weight. But instead of just kind of letting the class do their own thing, everybody's wandering around. You're wandering around. You have a little bit better group management and more opportunities to coach some reps.
There's a lot of downtime. I'm going to take a bathroom break in a second and let you talk for Cody, but I do want to say a couple things. Downtime here, which again, I'm looking at the level 4. If this were filled with coaching, everything's going really well. This much downtime, I don't think would go well there. Secondly, assuming you're going to, well, first of all, is there a WOD build up in the lesson?
I think we go through a bike and then we get started.
So I would have done a build up with jerks in there because here's why. 1, I want to see their paths to the bar. 2, and this is your level 4, this is something everyone should be doing. Again, I say getting ready for your level 4. What I'm really saying is if you want to be a world-class coach. So if you're watching this, hey guys, any weights that you're not using, take off the floor. Put them away, right? Because this bar is going to hit. If this bar bounces and hits that, it's going to catch you in the shin, right? So that's just something we should all be doing better. Cody, take over for a minute.
Elise up here asked, where are you at in Indiana?
Just on the north side of Zionsville, or just on the north side of Indianapolis in Zionsville.
Zionsville. All right.
The damper setting, it's set in there. So the RPM is what you're going to really base it on. Find RPM in that first round and say, all right, that might be 60, that might be 65, whatever it is, but try to hang out. I would say within like +1 or -1 of that number. So what tends to happen is we go to like 73, and at first round we feel good, and then it goes to 60. We're on the rest of the time, and then the last 4 rounds are 58.
Back. I did drink too much coffee.
Let's go ahead. We're going to go 30 seconds.
Cut it down a little bit, Jay.
Pace. I don't care what it is.
His mic all of a sudden picked up a lot. So this is the same thing that we were talking about a minute ago. Like this is now what we'd call like a third whiteboard breathe.
Yeah,
right
too much.
The workout, right? Again, we're just talking over what they need to hear. They need to hear something simple. Hey, go fast. Right?
Yeah, And the question was to you, Amanda, but I'm sorry, to you, Casey, from Amanda. And going back to my buddy Matt Torres, he was actually the first person I ever saw do this, and that was the WOD buildup. This is I had never done that before meeting Matt Torres, who now owns Naples CrossFit, but I loved it. And yeah, the goal is, hey, there are studies out there. It's like, get your heart rate up, let it settle back down, give it a couple minutes, and then we're going to go again. Yeah. Just a really great warm-up tool. I think every class should have that. And now the other benefit to that is it's threefold. One, you are getting them warmed up. Two, with what I would have done is have the barbell included. Now I see where they're going. You ever do a workout? It's like 3 people go to the same pull-up bar. So it's like, cool. Their paths to get to the barbells are safe. If they drop them, if there were burpees involved here, no one's getting a barbell dropped on them, etc. And then lastly, it's your one final check. Like, okay, is everybody good here? If someone's struggling on the WOD buildup, like 55 reps later is not going to be pretty. So it's really threefold. And I would be working that into every single class I coach. Yeah.
I watched something with K-Star the other day too, talking about interval work on the bike and like how you need to actually get your respiratory rate up before you go into hitting the bike. If you just try to hit the bike cold, man, it's gonna punish you immediately after the
shock. I do it often. Like even if I'm like by myself, sometimes I'll just get on the bike and be like, cool, give me a minute hard for me. And then I'm like, okay, rest for a couple minutes, let your body come down a little bit, and then hit the workout. Try that. You guys will be way better off. Well, that may be true, Kenneth. Like, yes, we are 36 minutes into this class, but this is what a class should look like, right? We're so accustomed to like, oh, there's 3 parts to class. Like everything we're saying is meant to improve the workout, but at the same time, Casey's coaching his butt off. Like I said, everybody we've had on the progression thus far is the class is exceptional. I mean, this is a 1%er as far as a CrossFit class around the world goes. Now, unfortunately, 0.01% past the level 4, right? So we're trying to take you from good to great right here. Who's Vindicate? Is that Andrew Hiller?
No, that they clothing brand, apparel.
Hey, cool. So you want to sponsor the show, Vindicate?
This is a good point right here from Trish. Shorter the workout, longer the warm up.
Yeah, shorter. That's a Trish. You don't say many smart things, but you just did.
Look, that's how you get a wrench. That's how you get a wrench.
Yeah, that is how you get. You say a lot of dirty things. Here's something I stole from Matt Chan. Also, the shorter the workout, the longer the cool down as well. So a good rule of thumb is 20-minute window. However long the workout takes, you have to cool down until you hit that 20 minutes, right? So 2-minute workout, I'm cooling down for 18. An 18-minute workout, I'm only cooling down for 2 because of the intensity there. All right, we've started, right?
Hey, Travis, by the way, I'm pretty sure I got this from you.
Well, look at that. Cody's repping your show, not ours. Welcome, Travis. How do all these people know each other?
Just everybody's in the chat all the time, man.
You
spend all of your time watching reruns of The Office, and all the rest of us are on YouTube and everybody's chat.
What's the rower doing?
We just had one less bike.
No, I know that, but what I meant, what's he doing for?
Oh, he's doing the same as the Concept 2 bikes, 12.
We'll see how he does. I would have put him at the 10.
Yeah,
but that's not a critique.
All right,
one thing. Oh, go ahead.
Guy right here in the middle, right? Is this workout push jerks or is it shoulder to overhead?
Push jerks.
All right, so like right here, you can see
he
just now started doing a jerk, right?
I think he did a set of 10, and I went and told him. I was like, hey, you can push jerk those if you want. You're gonna want to, and he thought they were faster. If you watch his pace on his bike.
Well, but here's the thing. is it like Cody said? Is it push jerks or is it shoulder to overhead? Because
Yeah.
I don't care if push press is faster if it's a push jerk workout.
Yeah.
Because if
Right.
again, I'm thinking about that. I hear you, Casey. If I'm at the level 4 as an evaluator, I'm like, oh, he just let that guy do 55 no reps.
Yeah.
I hear you, but that's where it's like, again, if you classified it as shoulder to overhead, that's different. If you truly want them to jerk because we want an extension, we want a rebend, we want an extension again, like that's different.
Yeah.
So again, going back to what we said about the couplet, Cody, you've brought this up on previous episodes, right? I think did we ever somebody rowing last week where it's like the bike you're almost leaving. I'm focusing almost exclusively on the people with the barbell.
Yeah, we
Like,
talked
doing
about it
the
with Francisco. He had a rowing barbell
Josh,
workout for clean.
Yeah.
And then
The hang
last week-
cleans.
Last week, I asked Christian the same thing. It was like, what is your focus here? Are you focusing on these people doing lunges or people doing the running that was outside, right? And it's fine, but it's like we went over with DT. It's good to make sure that you have a focus on what you're looking for in the movements, but also like in a couplet like this, one of them is bound to get the attention for the workout.
Yeah, I think right there, one of the guys' bikes, he didn't know how to restart it, so it just was paused, and he was freaking out. You know how that goes. If they're not getting
I wouldn't have
ready,
restarted my bike. I would have just added 9, added 8, added 7, etc.
Yeah,
that 11-year-old
but
is
it
a
like,
beast.
yeah, it was something along those lines.
Give her a shout out for us when you go back to the box. Let her know we said she's crushing it.
Kenneth,
Let her
no,
know.
the guy in the white's not the jack dude. It's the guy at the other end. He's
No, this
he's in
guy's
the gray.
the jack.
Yeah, the backward hat.
I think he's cut. His push jerks are cut off
Yeah, you can't
in
see
this
him.
video.
I've seen enough to know that 11-year-old girl is way fitter than Corey. I like how these guys are basically just critiquing everybody now. They're not wrong, right? And this is what I'm saying. Like Trish is right. This guy in the blue, his elbows are on the struggle bus right there. What are we doing to coach? Well, I don't know which blue she's talking about, but him, like everyone, our elbows are starting to drop, right? So his elbows are actually good, this guy. Well, let's see if he stands up all the way. Yes. Yes. Cool. Okay. First rep he didn't, but now he's going. And you're right. Anyone that has any experience is eventually going to start jerking, right?
Yeah,
But point being, we need to catch that prematurely.
yeah.
Casey,
So going,
that little moment you had right there with the guy in the blue,
yeah,
like we've said before, time and a place. You stopped him in the middle of a workout whenever you probably could have had his attention while he's on the bike. Let him
Yeah.
continue on over to the
Get on
bike.
the
And
bike.
all
Well,
right,
that's
now you've got my attention while I'm at least moving forward in the workout.
Cody, that's a really good point that I don't know that we've really touched on often. It's like, look, we're in a sprint essentially, right? So one, you're absolutely right. I don't want to pause you in when you have 115 or 85 on your shoulders, period. But also when we're trying to cycle this barbell. Now, I also want you to be moving on the bike. I just know you have more bandwidth to listen to me while you're on the bike. So that would have been like, hey, what I was trying to tell you over there is do this. And that's where you can explain it a little bit better. Now, I think the broader feedback for that, Casey, is much of this, not all of it, but a lot of it is if we were calling those reps out all along, because once they got loading, we didn't call those reps. That's where we would have saw these things. And that's why, Cody and I were harping on it because, again, the level 4 assessment is like, yes, do you have presence and attitude? You've got that. Check. Group management, check. Demonstration, you will fix that. And now it's like from start to finish, are my people getting better? Did everybody get 1% better during this class? And it's not going to happen during intensity. It's going to happen during the warm-up.
Mhm.
I just want to point out too, we talk about the chat, getting a little crazy
focus,
sometimes.
Corey, you're right.
But they've got some good stuff going on here, and that's kind of the whole point of this show. We've said it before. It's like this show is, for the coach that comes on to get some feedback, but it's also for you guys that are watching to get to see another class, get to see somebody that you don't see every day in your normal classes. You can watch them move. You can look for the corrections that you would make yourself.
Yeah, and peek behind the curtain, guys. Did you get my voice message yesterday, Cody?
I did.
Right. What did I say in that voice message?
I mean, you said that we're kicking ass.
I said we're kicking ass, yes. And much of that is like, I love this chat. Like, I don't ever think I'm not enjoying it. I love you guys joking around, and I even more so love you guys wanting to be better coaches. But you are why we do this thing. So, yeah, I said to Cody, that chat was on fire yesterday. Or that was today when I gave him that message. Like, I love it. Seeing our viewership go up. That's what it's all about. Have fun, but also I want you to become a better coach. And that's what you're doing out there.
Jay, I got a question for you. The orientation of barbells and bikes, right? We have people that are on the closest side to us having to travel all the way across the room to get on the bikes. Would you have split this where it's like,
you know what I would have done if I were to set this workout up? I think what I would have done is, let's just say there's 10 people. I don't know, but I would have had,
that's right.
I would have had 5 bikes where they currently are, and I would have turned them so they're facing the flag.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially, I think that's stylistic, right? And then I would have had their 5 barbells there. I would have left the other barbells, but I would have put the other bikes on the other side.
right? So that way people are traveling like this.
And I take that back. I think I still would have left them facing because I'd want to see like a little motivation, like, oh, he's back on the bar. Like, I want to go faster. I said that more so from a getting on the bike perspective, but I take that back. I would have left them facing the way they are so they see each other. Like, there's motivation there, right? So, yeah, we love you, Robbie. Everybody, keep coming back. We appreciate you guys. Check out Fern's show as well. Mondays on the hot seat, and lots of special guests coming at random times in the future. Starting with Carl Stedman this coming Tuesday. So, Cody, if you or for the viewers, if you don't already, best hour of their day, our social media. Cody posts all of the upcoming stuff there. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletter as well. That is a good question, Robbie. Is that flag hanging the wrong? I always get that backwards. I don't know which way the flag is supposed to hang. I think that's right, but if you do it vertically, the blue stays. Yeah. Any military watching? Is that right? Or anybody that just knows more about flags than I do?
No, I think that's right. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, I think like whenever it goes on a shirt, it's always supposed to be like.
Well, I think when you hang it vertically, it always looks backwards. But yeah, like Trish said, you always want the stars on the right.
Yeah.
Where's the clock? Because the clock that's on your wall is the time.
It's above on the other side, kind of above the TV, so they're all facing the clock.
There's a running clock on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing though that you got with bringing up injuries, ran into this situation in this class when we were going through it. It made me think of it. So one of the guys, let's see, the guy that's in the dark blue shirt on the Echo bike right now, he comes up to me after class. He's like, "Hey, I've been out."
That's getting off right now.
Right. So he had COVID for like a week and a half, and he was like down and out. And then he's like, "Yeah, I probably should have modded this bike a little bit." And I was like, yeah, but it goes to the point if I would have asked before.
That's a perfect example, Casey. It's like any injuries, like no one's thinking, well, I did just get over COVID, right? Like versus like we think injuries like my knee and my shoulder. It's like, and that's why sometimes I position it as like, hey, anybody have a reason they're going to need to modify today?
Modify, yeah.
Right? It's not always like an injury, but like, and that could be like, oh, I took a week off and I need to just ease back into it, or I didn't sleep well last night. Like there's plenty of reasons to do that.
Yeah, no, that was a perfect example, and it was like a weird week of spring break stuff, so I didn't even think anything of it. And then it was like after his class, he's like, "Man, I couldn't breathe very well on that bike." I'm like,
"That's because you were on the bike, right?" Yeah,
right.
Casey, shout out to you. We've had at least 5 comments that in the chat that have talked about how clean your gym is.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, shout out. I mean, what kind of building was this?
So it was a new build out. for a gym or for
It's
so this was the
beautiful,
first.
man.
Yeah. No, it's we have big space, a lot of room. People get spoiled when they have to like get halfway close to people.
Yeah, I mean, so much space. Look, I mean, we barely even touched on that little hangout spot with the stools over there. I like how the bumpers kind of separate it, right? Like that's why
Yeah.
they're there, right? Like that's the chill spot. Like it says at CrossFit Right Fern's box, you don't have to work out to hang out. Like this is what we want, you know. F all the people on the internet telling you your box shouldn't be a place to hang out. If you're doing it if you're not running an affiliate because you want people to hang out, stop being an affiliate, right? Like this is why you do it. Like you want people to want to be there. Like it's more than just a gym. And anyone telling you otherwise is trying to make money off you.
Question from Vindicate here. Did you ever think about a center mounted rig?
Yeah, so when the rig was it was just a single-sided rig along the wall under the flag, and then it was kind of like on the wall where the camera's at. So it was like a big L, and I didn't like that because when I was coaching like squats or anything, I like to see everybody in the middle and kind of and then it was already attached to the wall, and I had those connectors that with the rings on it attached to the wall. Yeah.
I wouldn't move it. And let me dig into that, Vindicate. I don't know if I'm the one that told you. You know, Casey's was also, you know, recent graduate of Affiliate University. I don't know if we talked about this, but Fern is a huge fan of wall-mounted rigs. This is something we disagree on. He likes wall-mounted rigs. I like exactly where Casey put it for this reason. And you probably had a little more space, although I know you got these trawlers going there. Like Trish said, it's just all open space, but it's still fully functional, right? Even if I were doing a pull-up workout, I got the spiel bars on the back end, which, by the way, are my favorites. I can lift. And now even you got 4 feet, and I can tell just because these are 4x6 mats, which is plenty of space to lift there. But even if you have a smaller space, I would still go full-sided rig like this, and you can be as close as like 21 inches or so, still be able to kip. And then the only issue is, well, now we can't use that side for the lifting. Cool, lift inside the rig, right? So that side lifts inside the rig. And the only limiting factor there is height. So you put your short people like me inside the rig, tall people lift outside when you're going overhead.
And you could probably still, I mean, I know you have the trawlers on that mount to the wall over there for bracing, but you could probably still put underneath the trawler like a 4 foot, a shorty pull-up bar to add an extra pull-up bar space too, if you wanted to. So
you needed to, but yeah, there's plenty of space. But yeah,
there's rings hanging there for muscle ups. So
yeah, I see them. No, I think this is great. I think Vindicate is. Hey, if you're a best hour client, you're going to be getting some flags sent your way, right, Cody? That was for you.
Can I get some? Morgan, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. That means a lot, Morgan. All right, so people are, you know, and yeah, I think something often overlooked in a workout too is like, all right, guys, once you're done, either A, cheer somebody on, B, hop back on the bike and just pedal nice and easy, right? So that's what it looks like people are doing, which is cool as people finish. Because this guy's
looks like the 11-year-old crushed everyone.
I think she did. And she's fine.
Yeah.
She's going to pet the dog, I think, right now.
She's 11. She's like Wolverine at this point. She's like self-generating. She's way fitter than Corey. Cool. You know what's worst about this workout is like you only have to do one and then you forget. I still got to go back and do 10 calories. I was like, oh, only 1 calorie, and then it's like, no, 10.
Yeah, that's what I was briefing in that bike warm up. I was like, guys, you got 100 calories on this bike.
Yeah, this is ultimately a bike workout.
Yeah,
it's a bike workout broken up with some jerks. But I mean, you get to those 3, 2, 1s, and you're just doing 30 calories. Hey, anybody in the comment section, by the way, you are welcome to be on this show. Cody, tell them how.
Yeah, I threw it in there earlier, but easiest thing to do is to click that link that I just dropped. You can be on the progression. You can be on the hot seat. The hot seat is for affiliate owners to come on and talk about the business side of this thing. And then the progression is for, guys like Casey to come on here and get some coaching feedback, especially if you're thinking about going out for your level 4.
By the way, I've done seminars in Waukesha, I think it's called, extra sloppy. What's the name of that? Regina, I want to say, owns the box there. But I've done seminars there before the games in the past. Great little box. Actually, that's the town. What was that show on Making a Murderer? Remember that show? Did you guys watch that on Netflix? Based out of Waukesha. All right. So a couple things. Let's tie a bow on this one. I think everybody's done. Is this correct? Am I missing something?
He's doing one more.
So here's the thing. It's twofold. We're having, I believe, in general, too big of a discrepancy in the first person and in the last person.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I would attribute that to the brief. Now, that being said, the bike is like the great denominator here, right? Like that will catch up to you. And I think no matter how well you brief this, that could be a challenge. That could be right. Extra sloppy could have been the shot.
Yeah, that was COVID out for 2 weeks guy.
Yeah. So that the guy,
yeah,
right.
That goes to the point of, like, we're not coaching the bike a ton in this particular class, but there could have been a test, right? You did a little bit of a bike warm up, but there could have been like a true test. Like, hey, I want you guys to get on here, go at a moderate effort, and let's see how long 10 cows takes you.
Yeah.
And that guy that had COVID would have probably quickly realized, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for this today.
Well, and here's the thing too. Twofold. To answer Amanda's question, yeah, we need a cool down. That's not going to happen. Right? Like, if you what's the one on the lesson plan, Cody?
Yeah.
Right. So we needed to make sure cooldown happened, which is not going to happen. You have a 12-minute cooldown listed. We have 2 minutes to go and we've not cooled down, right? So we definitely lost some time there. You're doing it a little bit, but it's kind of like, I'm glad you're doing it, but it's kind of like I don't want to use the term half-ass. That's not accurate. It's just like you're doing it because you're supposed to, but it's not practical right here. And the other thing that I would throw in here, Casey, and this is, again, when we give someone feedback on the show, we want everybody to be listening. This was, I think, with DT on, was it not, Cody? There was a point in time. Oh, no, it was when we had DT on with Fern. We were doing the level 1 manual. There was a point in time in this workout where you can tell someone's not going to hit the timeline, or I'm sorry, the stimulus. Mm-hmm. Probably in the 8s to the 7s, around there, where it's like, oh, that guy's still on the 9s. Hey, you're doing 5 calories.
Yeah.
Like, as the coaches, we need to take ownership and be like, hey, you're changing, cool. Like, right, if you would have done that and gotten everyone to finish 3 minutes faster, now we've got a cool down going. And I think that's a struggle a lot of coaches have. But it's like, nope, you're in charge. If they're not going to hit the stimulus, you need to figure out a way to help them hit that stimulus, even though they're mid-workout.
Yeah. No, that was why
We'll answer that.
I chose this workout because of that. I was like, hey, I don't want to do a 10-minute AMRAP because I know it's going to be done in 10 minutes.
No, I think this was this is a workout. I'm not familiar, but I assume most of the level 4 assessments are going to be task priority for this reason, right? Like, show me you can run a class on time when it's not a predetermined, workout time.
Yeah, that's exactly why I did it. I was like, I know that I am pretty confident that's what it'll be.
And for the record, you ran on time. I mean, that clock is showing me 7:01. So, like, give or take, because I don't know exactly what time you started. You ran on time. So to comment on, let me pull it up, Cody. It's so fucking hard to get people to engage in the cool down, though. I don't think that's a fair statement. It's hard if you don't believe in it and you don't control the class. Yeah, But if you're like, all right, guys, gather around. We're going to do this. Here's why we're going to do it. Because you just taxed your shoulders. And I want you to be able to come back tomorrow. And, I want you to, bring your heart rate back down, all those things. It's your people will do something if you believe in it. If you're like, this is kind of important, but I don't know, go do your thing, then they're not going to, believe in it. So I don't think it's hard to get them to engage if you're doing it, if you like anything you're doing in the class, if you're doing it well, if you're controlling the group, if you're, being deliberate about everything you're doing. Agreed, Cody?
Agreed. You
guys coach the affiliate we go to, what affiliate is that? Extra Sloppy? Why do I have to keep saying Extra Sloppy? Let's read Morgan's question. I end all of my classes, if I time it well, with 2 to 5 minutes of zone 2 monostructural and a 5-minute mindful minutes, and people love it. It's about, hey, I love that, Morgan. I will tell you this. Let's throw one wrench in there. We can always play devil's advocate. If you do the same thing every time, it's no longer varied, right? Look, it's a cool down, and I think it's great to bring consistency. I love your 5 mindful minutes. I took a class at 7 Mile when I was in Cayman. I got good buddies there. Chris Spigner, shout out to Chris. And he, after class, lay down, took us through a little breathing. And I was like, that was freaking awesome. More and again, it came from my trust in Chris. He's a great human being, great coach. And also just his belief in it. I was like, cool, I want to do this now. So yeah. Awesome. Yeah, Josh. That's Josh's box. Extra Sobby. Let's pull up. You got it? Oh, where are we at? In the L4 test, are the members going to be directed prior to be Matt Burns? I'll read the question. In the level 4 test, are the members going to be directed prior to be attentive by the staff? I don't have the accurate answer for you. I know of people that have taken the level 4 and have told me no. They're just regular members showing up to class. So, you have to be prepared for group management. Cody, pull up questions as you see them. And everybody else, as we're wrapping up, hey, this is my favorite part of the show. I love talking to you guys. I love answering coaching questions. Random question. Are coaches also trying to sell people to come back and keep attending? If you're good, yeah, Kenneth, I think you should. I've said this before. One of the best questions you can ask your members is, hey, when am I going to see you again? Right? Look, you guys as coaches and not owners, we need to improve this affiliate, right? And you want to be professional. You want to get paid. You want to be compensated. You want to get credentials and have the owner help you develop them. Well, do your part. And part of that is retention. And if I get people to come back, it's going to be better retention. So hell yeah. Hey, when am I going to see you again, Case? You did great today. Cool. Tuesday, I'll send you a text before then. Those are little things, right? But you want to be a full-time coach, you got to be willing to put in that work. When I was at North Naples in Florida, when I was at Ralston Creek here, I was in the Facebook group. I was texting people. I did not get paid for that. I didn't get anything extra. I just care about my craft. And I would put it every single night that I coached, without exception, in the affiliate Facebook group, someone would get a shout out every single time I coached. And if you're watching this, and yes, not every box has a Facebook group, but whether it's SugarWatt or Wattify or simply texting someone, those are the little things that go a long way. Jason, my bad. Yeah. All right. Pull up more questions, Cody. I mainly coach kids and teens. Anyone in the CrossFit space that you guys know is crushing it, I can reach out to support or something you guys do. Kids and teens. The short answer is yes, Chris. Shoot me an email, Chris. Jason at besthouroftheirday.com, and I will put you in touch with somebody. Cody, I'm letting you do the questions.
Yeah, that's all the questions we got.
What do you mean? I see Boucher asked a question.
That's not a question.
What is that actually? It's a statement. Include the warm-up as part of the WOD brief. What does that mean, Boucher? Expand. We switch up the mono movement and mobility. Yeah, I like that, Morgan.
I mean, yeah, what Morgan mentioned earlier is that's kind of like Henshaw-esque, right? Having that zone 2 monostructural cool down kind of thing to help flush out some of the burn.
Yeah, a lot of coaches feel. Let's talk about this. A lot of coaches feel they care more about the affiliate than the owners. Hey, Kenneth, I'm going to tell you something I said numerous times. Then don't stay at that affiliate. Like, I think that's a mistake. Both members and coaches. Look, you go to a restaurant and you have a bad experience, you're going to keep going back there. Yet as members, sometimes we're like, I love the community. Cool. There's another community there. There's another community. There's another community there. And if these guys are your friends, you'll see them outside of the box. But it's capitalism. If you're not satisfied with something, but you keep supporting them, you're supporting a bad product. Stop doing that. If you want them to learn and change, they got to feel it. And guess what? 5 members leave, they're going to feel it. You're not married to your affiliate, right? You need to be willing to go elsewhere. And if you're a coach that feels like I care more, well, for one, have a conversation with the owner about it. But secondly, if it's not improving, cool. There's a box there, there, and there. Figure out which one cares more and go there. Cool. Mayhem. What's this? Let's see. Have 150 push-ups in the workout today. Knowing athletes will start to skirt the range of motion. With saying at the whiteboard, I'll give one warning, then you'll switch to hand release. That's a good question. Let me think. I mean, that can go for anything. I think it's weird. Some movements were like, oh, one time there was a workout program at Ralston Creek, and it was like, hey, they're perfect push-ups. I'm like, well, what are we letting go every other day then if these are perfect today? Like, shouldn't they be perfect every day? And I think CS, this is just like, hey, guys, there's 150 push-ups today. Here's what I'm looking for. Midline needs to stay tight. So you're going to crunch your abs. You're going to go down and up as one. Demonstrate those things. If those aren't happening, I'm going to give you some cues to make it happen. There's a chance I'm going to have to make you go to either hand release push-ups or go to your knees for these. The better your push-ups look, the less likely that's going to happen to you. But, no different than today on the jerk. It's like, well, if somebody starts to, lat hip extension, do I do this? No, we coach, right? And that's what it is. No, just coach more. Kyle, if you want to be on the hot seat, Cody hit you up. Okay, guys, after the workout, don't put your weights away. We are going to cheer on our friends, and we're going to do 3 rounds together in a circle of a cool down I have planned. I like that, Boucher, right? Look, as an OG in the CrossFit space, when I coach somewhere, I say it at the whiteboard. Hey, guys, after this workout, if you're the first one done, leave your equipment. Go cheer on the person next to you. If you have to get out of here, I would rather you cheer someone on and leave. I will put your equipment away. But let's make sure we maintain this culture that's a part of CrossFit. Cool. Is that everything?
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Casey, like we said from the beginning, and I'm glad you're taking notes. So what are the big takeaways? What are the big takeaways you had, Casey, that you think you can work on?
Control the group a little bit more. That was kind of a big one. I think that kind of going through my brief a little bit better, ask for injuries or I don't know if I'll word it as injuries or like you said, like reasons for modifications.
That's how I do. I'm typically like, hey,
yeah,
any reason you guys are going to need to modify this? Because if you're like, hey, anybody have an injury? You're like, oh, my pinky toe hurts. Cool. Is that going to prevent you from doing jerks or bike? No.
Right.
Versus like, hey, anything that's going to inhibit one of these 2 movements today, right? And then you may even throw on there, anybody take time off coming back, like that we need to so just think about how you're going to word it. But yeah I would say
I love that.
Overall for you, that was a fantastic class. I don't ever want that to be brushed over. To pass the level 4, once they got moving, between the whiteboard brief, I know this is big, right? And the workout, I want more control. I want you to be calling everything. And again, that might not be how you run class at your box day in and day out, but it's how you need to be prepared for the level 4. And it's no different than this. Here's the analogy I would give you guys. When you watch the CrossFit Games, Fikowski's not opening his hips. But Fikowski damn well knows how to open his hips. Now he's trying to be efficient. Same thing for coaches. I don't want you to do what you did today until you can show me you can do it the other way. Now, if a day like, cool, let's be a little more efficient today. Let's make it a little more free flowing. That's one thing. But if I need to, I got this thing ratcheted up and I'm going to call every rep. Thanks for showing up.
Hey, Casey, I just thought about this because the games are coming back up again. But last year we did a couple of dropping in episodes at the affiliate, and you can watch Jay and Fern coach
Yeah.
a room full of strangers, right? And it's like, I don't know, it's bananas. It's like 50 people in one room.
It's impressive,
Yeah.
right? But I do.
It is impressive, but like what I want you to take away from it is like if you go back and watch just that one dropping in episode, you can see the control that they have on a group of random people, which is going to be very similar to something like the level 4. I mean, they're yelling, they're directing, they're like you, like you go here, teams of 3. I need people on the bike, get your barbells. It's like that's how it has to be. You just have to command the room better.
Group management is like personality, goes a long way. Right, you do that, it carries over big time. Real quick, extra sloppy. What do you do with members that are stubborn, especially people with mobility restrictions and are reluctant to address them? I love digging into this stuff. And here's what I will tell you. For one, reading this question, less people than you all attribute mobility issues to have mobility issues. I would tell you 80% of the mobility issues you're seeing at the box are just laziness and need to be pushed, right? Oh, I'm tight. No, get your damn elbows up, right? Like everyone's tight. The number of people at level 2s that I see people like, that guy's tight. No, freaking coach him. You'll see a difference. Secondly, if we're just talking about stubbornness, like I think coaches, you need to be comfortable having conversations. Let's do a little role play. Hey, Cody, class just ended. We just did front squats. Cody, hey, I noticed in that workout, I was really, encouraging to get those elbows up, and you weren't really listening to me. Is everything okay?
I mean, like I'm feeling a little bit tight.
You're feeling tight? Cool. Yeah. I mean, I've been doing this thing for a long time. My shoulders are tight too. Let's work on a couple of things that we can do to get those elbows up higher. You have a full grip on the bar. Let's just take a couple fingers off the bar, right? You got to be comfortable having those conversations. Coaching is mostly just human interaction. How do I get this person to do what I want them to do? A lot of that is like diffusing the ego, right? Like you notice, what did I say to Cody? Oh yeah, I get it. You're tight. I'm tight too. Let's figure that out, right? Like have those conversations after class. You have those conversations with people. These people love you, right? Like I think most of the world this day goes about their lives and no one asks them like, hey, how you doing? When was the last time, right? You guys like, how you doing? Like, that's like, what? Like, that's a weird question. No, I'm just curious. Like, how's your day going? Right. So like that's what coaching is like. So we need to be comfortable doing that. We need to be more about that as coaches. That's really what it's all about. And you're going to be able to have some tremendous breakthroughs. And I think a lot of time as coaches, like who just asked that question? Who was it? Who asked that? Extra sloppy. I think sometimes we look at people and we're like, oh, they're just stubborn. They're not happy. And it's like, or they just have like fern face and look like they're pissed off all the time, but they're really, I had a client call this morning and I'm like, sometimes we get in our head as coaches, like, oh, they're not happy. They're not doing this. No, they are. Like, get over your stuff and coach, and then connect with those people, have connections, and they will start doing anything you ask of them. I am not a super athlete, as you guys know, right? I'm a decent coach. Don't let the L4 credential fool you. There are far better coaches out there than I am. The only thing that I am very good at when it comes to coaching is connecting with people and making it very clear very quickly that I care about them, right? Same thing with this. Like I can be direct with Casey because I say this like I want you to pass the level 4, and I wouldn't be doing my job if I let stuff slide. And the same thing holds true with coaching. As soon as this is acceptable for my elbows, that's a fail. I've not set you up for success for a 1 rep max. I've not set you up for success for your next rep, etc. I want your elbows here because I care about you, right? And it's the same thing here. I want all of you watching to be the best coach you can be. And again, it goes back to, because I know the impact all of you have on hundreds of people. And if there's 25 people watching, now I get to have impact on, 2,500 people. So I want you guys to be the best, and you need to take that same feelings and emotions and, coaching to your class, and just like you can be a super tough coach when it comes to the movement standard, the range of motion, the points of performance, but really enjoyable at the same time. Does that make sense, Cody, Casey? Can I get an amen? Can I get a witness?
No, you're right. I got a story with coaching. We had a guy move here from North Carolina. He's been here like a year. He had a housewarming party. There were 35 people at the party. Every person at that party was somebody from the gym. And he moved here. He didn't know anybody when he moved here. And a year later, he moves into a house, has a housewarming party, and literally every person there. And he invited me, and I didn't help planning anything. I didn't do anything. And it was like, you looked around, you're like, hey, like this was brought together by like stuff I do in the gym. And it was pretty cool.
I was the best man at 3 different weddings at my gym. Like, that's what it should be. Like, if you're not getting invited to weddings and bar mitzvahs and social gatherings, like, that's what this is all about. And again, this is not attacking anyone out there on social media, but there are people telling you not to have people hang out at your gym. There are people telling you to do one-on-one stuff. There are people telling you that community fitness doesn't work. Those people are not good at coaching. Those are bad coaches who cannot do what we do, trying to make excuses for their shitty coaching. Casey, Cody, myself, many of you listening, we understand the value of CrossFit. We understand the value of this community that we're building, right? It's got to be fun, and people have to get better. And if you do those 2 things, if you keep it fun and you get results, you got people that will never leave you. So, Casey, like I said, I don't want this to get overlooked. That was a fantastic class. I would be a member of your gym if I lived in that area. All I'm trying to do is take Casey, who's a good coach, and make him great. Because like I said, I fully believe you can pass the level 4. You've got it in you. You've definitely got it in you. Now we just got to, pull those little things out, and we've got another level 4 on our hands. So good stuff. Exactly, Brandon. Let's burn them. Sorry, got you guys fired up. Anything to add before Casey? Any questions for me?
No, I don't think so. Thanks. No, I appreciate the feedback. Like like I said before, I think that you guys, in my coaching career, I've been a part of a couple of gyms that hadn't really had feedback and did what you said, like, hey, find a new spot. And eventually it was like, hey, do something on my own. And this level 4 came up, and I was like, yep, gonna do it. How do I kind of use my resources, which wasn't a ton. But it's been, hey, reach out to those guys on seminar staff, I drove 9 hours on Monday to go coach at Andrew's gym just to get some feedback for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So
and that's what a good coach does. When I was, preparing, I told the story last week. Like, I went to Ben Bergeron. That was 3 hours away, right? I went to Garden City, Jen and Dennis. Went to Brooklyn, Keith Wittenstein. That's what we should be doing, right? Everybody wants to be a professional coach till it's time to do professional coach shit. But this is what it's going to take. If we want to be considered professionals, we need more people like you out there, Casey, doing that stuff. Yeah. Trish saying something real, but yeah, you put yourself in a vulnerable position, man. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Came in the community. Yeah. So love it. Vindicate. Hit me up. Vindicate. It would be, I'd like to get to know who you are. Travis, whoever that is. Anything to add there, Cody?
That's good, man.
Love you guys. That was I'm sorry that I get fired up. I only get fired up because I care about this stuff. I want all of you to pass level 4. People come at me like, oh, are you worried about level? No, I'm not worried. I want there to be more level 4s, because if there's more level 4s, this thing is growing. We're taking over the world. That's what it's all about. All right, Cody. Nothing tomorrow. We got Hot Seat with Fern on Monday.
Yep.
Carl Steadman Tuesday. What time is that?
Calendar. 3:30 Eastern.
3:30 Eastern, you guys. Tune in. You heard it here first. Carl Steadman, OG on the Euro crew will be on. We'll be back Wednesday with Joe DeGane, someone we, from the Michigan area. 810 CrossFit. Joe DeGane will be on next week for breaking down the L2. We'll be back on the progression. And then we've got some other great guests. Julie Foucher's coming on, some other awesome people. So thank you guys in the chat. Thank you guys for watching. If it's not too late, like and subscribe and share. Tell your friend that Ackerman and Cody are here every week breaking down classes. And Casey, thanks for coming on. Yes,
Yep,
I know who
no
Andrew
problem.
Hiller is.
Thanks,
He's been on
guys.
the show, Vindicate. He's been on the show. I'm good friends of Andrew Hiller. Take it out of here, Cody.
All right. See you guys.